You ever order something online and feel that little rush when the delivery truck pulls up? That tiny thrill of, yes, my package is finally here, only for it to vanish into thin air? Well, that rush quickly turned into a full-blown nightmare for me, and it all started with Karen. Yes, Karen, my neighbor, the one who smiled politely over the fence while quietly plotting to ruin my online shopping life. It began innocently enough. A new set of headphones, a few kitchen gadgets, a couple of books, nothing extravagant. I tracked every package religiously, and every time the delivery notifications would ping, my excitement would spike, and every single package would disappear within hours. I thought maybe the delivery guy was messing up. Maybe I was misplacing things. But then the pattern emerged. Every package, every single one, disappeared around the same time. And guess whose house was just perfectly positioned across the street? Yep, Karen's. The tipping point came one sunny Saturday morning. I had spent weeks saving up for this ultra-expensive gaming headset. The email notification popped up. Delivered. My heart raced. I ran to my porch only to see the box gone. That's when I noticed movement in the corner of my eye. Karen, she was casually strolling past, coffee in hand, with a smirk that now makes me shiver just thinking about it. That's when it clicked. The thefts weren't random. They weren't accidents. They were deliberate. I couldn't believe it at first. I mean, how do you even confront a neighbor about stealing your packages without it turning into a war zone? So I did what any rational, slightly paranoid, and slightly vengeful person would do. I started investigating. I checked her trash. I watched her comings and goings. I even downloaded apps to track deliveries. And the more I watched, the more I realized this wasn't just petty theft. This was systematic. She had been taking my packages for weeks, building some kind of bizarre collection of my life's purchases. By the end of that week, I had a plan. A plan so audacious, so perfect, that I knew it could either expose her or completely blow up in my face. I set up a little trap, something that would catch her in the act, something I knew would go viral if it worked. And trust me, I wasn't thinking about fame when I started. I was thinking about justice, about retrieving what was rightfully mine, and maybe, just maybe, giving Karen a taste of her own medicine. Little did I know that one trap would not only expose her in the most dramatic way possible, but also turn my quiet suburban street into a headline online. The first step in my plan was to make the trap irresistible. I knew Karen couldn't resist packages. She was practically a human magnet for them. So I ordered the most juicy package I could think of. A brand new, limited edition gadget that had been sold out everywhere. The kind of thing any self-respecting online thief would drool over. I didn't even care about the item itself. It was all about bait. I spent hours planning the perfect setup. The package had to look authentic, like it was genuinely delivered and forgotten. I positioned it right in front of my door, where the delivery person would leave it, but still be clearly visible from my living room window. Then came the pièce de résistance, a small hidden camera. Not just any camera, mind you, a doorbell cam that recorded in high definition, with motion detection and the ability to live stream directly to my phone. I set it up in such a way that it wouldn't be obvious at all. If Karen approached, I'd have the evidence I needed. For the next 24 hours, I played the waiting game. Every creak in the floor, every car passing by, my heart would jump. And then it happened. Around mid-morning, I saw her through the window, casually strolling down the sidewalk. She glanced around, and that's when I knew. This was her moment. She moved with that same quiet confidence I had seen countless times before, like she owned the street. She stopped in front of my door, looked left, looked right, and then, almost ceremoniously, picked up the package. I couldn't help but hold my breath. She paused, turning the box over in her hands as if inspecting a prized possession. Then she started to walk away, glancing at her phone as if to check the time, completely unaware of the little eye recording her every move. I felt a surge of adrenaline. I had her. Finally, after weeks of stolen packages and simmering frustration, I had undeniable proof. But I wasn't done. I wanted this to be more than just a personal victory. I wanted it to be a lesson. I edited the footage to show the whole process. Her approach, the stealthy grab, and that smug little smirk she always wore. Then came the part I knew would make it go viral. A perfectly timed pause on her face as the camera caught her red-handed. I wanted people to see the exact moment Karma stared her in the eyes. I uploaded it carefully, knowing that once it hit, there'd be no turning back. Within hours, the clip started spreading. Comments, shares, and shocked messages flooded in. People couldn't believe a neighbor could be so bold, so meticulous, and so audacious. And me? I was sitting there, a mix of triumph and disbelief, realizing just how far this small suburban drama could go. By the time Karen returned home, her doorbell chimed, and she had no idea what awaited her. She was about to step into a situation she would never forget. The next morning, the tension in the neighborhood was palpable. But I had no idea it would be this intense. By the time I woke up and checked my phone, the video had already racked up thousands of views. Notifications kept pinging non-stop. Comments poured in. Is this real? That's Smirk, though. She deserves this. People were shocked, entertained, and completely hooked. And amidst all the digital chaos, one thing became terrifyingly clear. Karen was about to see this video too. I didn't have to wait long. Around mid-morning, I heard hurried footsteps on the sidewalk. My heart sank when I saw her, phone in hand, storming up the driveway. Her expression was a mix of disbelief and fury, like someone had just ripped the rug out from under her entire, carefully crafted reputation. She stopped right in front of me, waving her phone like it was evidence in some courtroom drama. You posted this online?" She spat, her voice trembling with rage. "How dare you?" "Karen," I said calmly, trying to keep my own pulse from betraying me. "I didn't post it to humiliate you. I posted it to show the truth. For weeks my packages were disappearing, and now people know what you've been doing." Her eyes darted around as if expecting a crowd to appear from the bushes, and maybe she was imagining it. But the thing is, the camera doesn't lie. There she was, caught red-handed, every move documented. I could see the realization hit her face, the kind of slow, sinking dread you only see in movies. What if I return them?" she stammered, glancing nervously toward my porch. "I mean, maybe it was just—" "Karen," I interrupted gently but firmly. "It wasn't just, it was deliberate. And it needs to stop." She stayed silent, shifting from foot to foot, and I could feel the neighborhood staring at us, even if only metaphorically through the viral comments and messages that were already blowing up online. There was no charm, no excuse, no polite smile to soften this confrontation. The evidence spoke louder than any words ever could in that moment. I realized this wasn't just about packages or online shopping. It was about boundaries, accountability, and showing that actions have consequences, no matter how small or hidden they may seem. The video wasn't just viral. It was justice served with a modern twist. High-definition proof and a digital audience ready to witness it. By the time Karen finally muttered something about being careful in the future and scurried back inside, I felt a mix of relief and disbelief. My plan had worked, but more than that, it had sparked a conversation about trust, neighbors, and the little acts that quietly erode it. And as I watched the views climb higher and higher, I knew one thing for certain. This story wasn't just going to end here. There was one more chapter left, and it was going to blow everyone away. After Karen stormed back inside, I sat on my porch, staring at the spot where the package had been. The adrenaline was fading, replaced by a strange mixture of triumph and disbelief. The video was still blowing up online, climbing from thousands of views to tens of thousands within hours. Comments poured in faster than I could read them. People were sharing their own package theft stories, tagging friends, and some were even sending memes about Karen. My small suburban drama had become a full-blown internet sensation. The first unexpected twist came when I got a knock on my door. It wasn't Karen. It was my neighbor across the street, holding a clipboard and wearing the slightly awkward grin of someone trying to be friendly, but clearly a little starstruck. "Hi," they said. "We saw the video. Incredible work. You've inspired a lot of people to set up security. cameras, and protect their deliveries. Also, the local news wants to talk to you. Local news. Me. A suburban internet sensation. I laughed nervously, half excited, half terrified. My story about Karen stealing packages had transcended our little street. Suddenly, I wasn't just the person who got their packages stolen, I was the person who cleverly exposed a serial thief in the most creative way possible. The trap, the video, the viral moment, it had all collided perfectly. Karen, meanwhile, became a reluctant celebrity in her own right. The very next day, I noticed her walking down the street with an expression, somewhere between shame and anger, waving to people who were now giving her the kind of side-eye reserved for someone who had been caught doing something unforgivable. It was surreal. She wasn't the villain of a story. I'd tell on my channel she was the villain in everyone else's, and the strange thing, I didn't even feel satisfied with revenge. Instead, I felt vindicated. I had defended my boundaries, reclaimed what was mine, and somehow turned a personal injustice into a cautionary tale for the world. Over the following weeks, I kept posting updates, how neighbors reacted, funny messages from strangers, and even Karen's awkward attempts to avoid being noticed. The video kept circulating, and people began sharing their own package, theft horror stories, creating a community around what had once been my private frustration. My channel grew, my story became part of local legend, and the moral of the tale became clear. Sometimes, you don't need confrontation alone to win. You need strategy, creativity, and a little digital proof. By the time the dust settled, life on my street returned to a new normal. Packages were delivered safely, neighbors were chatting more than ever, and Karen, well, let's just say she became much better at keeping her hands to herself. And as I sat back, scrolling through comments, I realized something remarkable. One person's audacity can change an entire neighborhood, and one clever trap can turn frustration into fame. And that, my friends, is how Karen stole my Amazon packages for weeks. And how I set a trap that went viral. Listen up. If you think this was just another boring story, you're dead wrong. Crazy moments like this happen only here. So hit that subscribe button right now or risk missing the next jaw-dropping twist. And don't just sit there. Drop a comment telling me which moment blew your mind, because I read them all and the best ones get a shout-out. Smash that like button if you love drama, and don't forget to hit the bell icon, or the next viral trap might just happen while you're sleeping.